Hello, hello. Hi, everybody. Hey, Xyletics. Hey, Kevin. Okay, I need to remember this no matter what. So let me just go set an alarm. I gotta leave at 10:45. Set an alarm for 10:40. All right, 10:40. Done. All right, good. Yeah, so I mentioned this already, but today should be. Wait, one sec. Engage privacy mode. Let me just check something really fast. Yeah, okay. I need to make sure I didn't have any like medical stuff up. Yeah, so I have an appointment at 11:20. I will need to end the stream no matter what's going on at that time. Well, that time being 10:45. Then I'll go to this appointment, whatever, blah blah, get lunch. And then after, I don't know how long the appointment is. I don't know how long transportation is going to take. So I'll try to come back in the afternoon, kind of around maybe 1. I'm not sure. But if that doesn't happen, don't hold me to it. But I do want to get the end cutscene done today if we can. And I think a day is enough time to do it. But I haven't looked into it. So we'll have to take a look. He's leaving us. All right, leave your girl. And hi, happy Friday. Hey, Flair. Spinning Dude replaces our chat today. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's happening. And hey, BRB bathroom. Let's see. Twitch chat overlay. Did that fix it? Yeah, that fixed it. Okay. So I wrote something down a while ago about storyboarding. Did I write it in public notes? I did. If you're ever planning a cutscene, storyboarding out some rapidly prototyped scenes in your game engine can help you identify any gaps. I had written out the storyboard, and while it was a good starting point, it wasn't until I made some visual mock-ups that I felt confident proceeding. Yeah. I don't even think I used animations. Okay, so I think that's what we're going to do now, too. Let's see where we're at with this thing. Get poll. Should have nothing here. Good. Having to write something here every time is such tedium. You don't have to if you don't want to. You could just say hi. And thanks, Freak Technic, for the 45 months. What a time. What a time. All right, get checkout -B, end cutscene. End cutscene. I can say hi without bragging. Yeah, but you can also say hi with bragging. So end cutscene, close this issue. Like merge the branch. I think most of this is going to be visual. So where's the final storyboard that I had written out? Yeah, here. So is this in this issue? I think these are the same. If they are the same, I want to ditch this document. A person walks into town, don't feel so good. I've got just the thing. Person drinks it. Cool, back to adventuring. Game goes to doesn't say slow motion. Yeah, this is the better one. So we'll copy this. Hey, Shaky. Don't forget there's a new emote. Adam Mad Skell. For when you're really mad. All right, so save this. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna kind of plug this in into Godot, and we're gonna just see how does it look. Like, does it communicate the right thing? So let's try to get this shot for shot here. So a person walks into town taking poison damage, maybe with a wavy I don't feel so good over their head. First of all, how do we want to construct this? Are they coming to your potion shop? Is it just your town and you bring them the antidote? Hey, Rohini. I saw that, what was it? There was like an otter meme that you shared. You said, if you know, you know. And I did not know. And then I think you deleted it, but I didn't understand when it was there. Which hero name does the emote scream while shaking? Which hero name? Like a cartoon villain sort of thing? Like Freak Technic, because it's your name. Because you had to brag about saying hello earlier. So yeah, there are a couple different ways we can do this. In the intro that we had for you, you approached like a non-existent potion shop that you never see again in the game. But they could actually come to your town. And I think that would make the most sense. But should they come to your potion shop? I mean, they probably would. Yeah. I think they would come to your potion shop. Ideally, we would even... Hey, Smalls, thanks for the raid. Welcome in, everyone. Hey, Maniac Pine. Trying to replicate the opening cutscene as much as possible. The problem is, like, you didn't make this town, right? And it's a different NPC as well. So I think we should do it more based on what you have in your town. Hey, Sleepy. Yeah, welcome in. How you doing? And hey, Ace. We're working on the final cutscene for the game. In the intro cutscene, you get poisoned and you die because you couldn't get an antidote. In the final cutscene, someone else gets poisoned, but you can provide them an antidote. I guess no one probably heard that because of the ads. But I mean, just someone going up to the potion shop. I see. Yeah, okay. So then, yeah, we should probably go take a look at that. Hope you're all doing well, Raiders. All right, so let's go into story mode here for a sec and take a look. So we'd have this. Let's take a picture. They would enter your town from the side. So yeah, that's how we should probably... Yeah, that's probably the issue, right? This is what my knife was saying, like approach from the bottom. But in order to enter your town, they do come from the side. So I think we'd probably do something like this. Then again, it doesn't have to be... It could... The other... I'm so torn. Your game's initial load time is like 4x faster than mine. I'm not doing anything in 3D, though. That probably has something to do with it. Because I didn't do anything super special for loading, at least. Like, we do have some things for caching resources, and... But, yeah, I don't think I did anything for the initial load. Let's find it coming from the side. The idea is that the situation is as close as possible. Yeah, I'm torn. I'm torn on this. Like, if they do show up to your potion shop, then why would you give them an antidote? And that's part of the thing that I think might be important here. Same number of shop displays that you have, which should be maxed out. So who really cares? But then I wanted you to bring them an antidote. Hey, Hauf. I'm doing 3D and networking and not using the built-in networking nodes. Are you liking it? Let me read the storyboard again. Yeah, sorry. There's a lot of stuff that is only... It's only when I get to it that I'm like, oh, I didn't think of this. Person walks into town taking poison damage, maybe with a wavy, I don't feel so good over their head. Maybe you walk to your potion shop to get them the antidote. Yeah. So like it could take place here. Where'd the picture go? Here. Okay. So there could be a potion here. Whoops. I don't know what I just did. Where's the drawing tool? Here we go. Okay, so there's a potion here. I will eventually figure out how to draw. All right, let's draw a little potion. So there's a potion here. There's a person here. They're unhappy and they're walking into your town and you bring them the potion, the antidote from over here. I think I like that. And maybe they're not even like that close to death. No, they could be close to death. I think it could be fine. Fun problems to solve? Yeah. I eventually want to do a multiplayer game, but I think I'm going to do a couple of single player games first. Because the last game I did was multiplayer, and I just feel like it was a ton of work. Okay, I like this idea. So, person enters your town. I'll just write it in here. All right, and procure an antidote you just found. Maybe you bring it from your shop, your potion shop, toward the bridge in the west. Yeah. Okay. So let's go mock this up. We had this already. I want to put this just into Godot. We're going to do this sort of as cheaply as possible here. And this one probably should have some indication of a cutscene. There should be some indication that this is a cutscene, but it shouldn't be that vignette effect, since that was all in the past. Full screen textures that we cycle through on the loading screen. Wow. Yeah. The path to the potion shop in the intro cutscene should be coming from the south. This? You approach from the south, but there's no path. Oh, this path. I see what you're saying. Yeah, that's pretty minor. I don't mind one way or another there. Plus you walk off to the right side when you're done, so it's kind of just like the edge of a town pretty much. So it started clicking. Yeah. I think it's not just the networking aspect though. I think, let's say that was just given to you for free. A multiplayer game still has like interplayer balancing that you don't have in a single player game. And it has like, how do I say this? Like, you probably want to have a single player or an AI version anyway of your multiplayer game. So like there are a lot of games I remember from a while back, like Bomberman 64. Bomberman 64 has a whole single player mode, but then they have a multiplayer mode too. And it was really intended for you to play with your friends. I guess maybe Star Fox 64 is a better example of that. Like they had a single player mode, but then the multiplayer mode, I don't even think had AI. I think you had to play against your friends. So like those sorts of things just add to how much game you have to make. Hey, Taras. Yeah, black bars top and bottom. That's a good idea. Letterbox this. We should letterbox this. Yeah. Really trying to play Bomberman 64 with my friends next year. Yeah. It did have AI? Yeah. Bomberman 64 did. I don't think Star Fox did, though. Star Fox had a multiplayer thing. And I don't recall there being AI for that. Okay. So we paste this into here. Let's make a new scene. So we're just going to, whatever, make a new scene. This is like mock-up. I do this as cheaply as possible here. So we're going to save this as a new graphic. We'll put this in intro cutscene. So this is the town. And this is what I'm talking about when I say we're going to do this as cheaply as possible. We're literally just going to drag the town graphic onto here. That did not do what I thought it did. Okay, there we go. So there's our town graphic. Now we need the new character. End cutscene. We have end adventure coin flip and end adventure drinking and adventures. Okay, yeah. So let's add in the new adventure sprite 2D. We're not going to animate this. We're not going to do anything clever here. We're just going to get this as quickly as possible. I guess let's drag all of these things over to here too for now. Because yeah, all this is going to get deleted eventually. What IMP is that? This is Affinity. Hey, Darkstorm. Yeah, the outro time. Bomberman 64 is a good game. Man, I got all the gold cards in that game. I don't know if that was fun, but I liked 100% in games back then. And now I don't think I would want to do that ever again. Yeah, I haven't played Mario vs. Luigi for... Wait, I played one of the Mario and Luigi games? I don't know. I was always expecting Super Mario RPG and it never was. All right, so we quick load in the new adventurers. There are actually two now, so we take this one. And then I want that image. So let's just load that up over here. Open with Affinity. Let's try to get the pixel coordinate of maybe that. It is 160, 160. Okay, that's fine. So we do region enabled 160, 160, 1620. So that should be just that character. Yeah, nice. Okay, so this character would go here. We're going to scale them up. We're just mocking this up for right now. I don't know how big they should be. 4. Whoops, 4. Yeah, that's pretty much the same. Okay, good. So they're entering your town. They have a life bar over them. They're about to die. Can we instantiate in a life bar? Yeah, so this would go here. Put that there. But they're nearly dead. So we got to set the value of this to probably like 20. Yeah. Yeah, I don't have an affinity command. And take care of Sleepy Wolf. I just got sick of GIMP. GIMP was bothering me so much. And yeah, sorry, I got to keep checking my phone today because there's a lot of stuff going on. Okay, yeah. So let's read the rest of the storyboard thing. Person walks into town taking poison damage, maybe with a wavy I don't feel so good. So the I don't feel so good was specifically taken from the Skelarap. I want to have that. I think in the... We have like some wavy text. If I search for frequency equals, we should find it. Here it is. Yeah. Okay, so we add in a rich text label. And we paste this here. And we say, I don't feel so good. And then we put that over here. This should be wavy. Oh, it is wavy. I guess when you wave the whole thing, it doesn't really look super obvious. And let's put a font size thing here for now too. Font size equals 24. I don't know, it's just got to be a little bit bigger. 28, yeah. 32. We'll figure out what this looks like for sure. All right, so they're going to make it to like roughly here. And then you're going to take your antidote that you got. Do you have a good suggestion for a Photoshop alternative? My wife is a graphic designer, and I'm tired of throwing tons of money at Adobe. I'm not very good at any of this stuff, so I don't know if Affinity is a good replacement for it. I think Krita is supposed to be a good replacement for it, but I don't know too much about this stuff. Yeah, I'm not good with this stuff. Sorry, but chat might know. But yeah, I don't want to give Adobe any money either. I feel like I don't have a good impression of them. All right, so they come in. I don't feel so good. You say, I've got just the thing, and procure an antidote that you just found. Maybe bring it from your potion shop toward the bridge in the west. Okay, so now let's go get an antidote. So we're going to instantiate an item. And we needed to have the right graphic. So I guess editable children, sprite 1. We need to change this to be... Why can't I edit the region? This is pointless. Okay, let's just delete that then. Let's just add in a sprite. I mean, if I'm going to have to customize this anyway, we might as well do it this way. So new Atlas texture, quick load items. And now the antidote is where? All item data, antidote, 1, 1. No, that's not right. 17, 1. All right, so 17 times 16, 16, 272. 272, 16, 16, 16. So there's our antidote. So this would be over here. We put a scale of 4. And I guess your character would go get it for you. Hey, Galaxy Inferno. Wasn't on my computer yet to respond to the bug thing. Haven't forgotten. Oh, yeah. And I don't think there's probably going to be helpful information there. So... At least it was when you quit that it crashed and not while you were playing. Hey, Mohit Kumar. All right, so you'll notice this person, and then I guess you'll go get them the antidote and bring it to them as they're about to die, which is like you further doing work for them. Kind of like that idea. All right, so now we add in a sprite 2D of your character. So we could call this antidote, and this the adventurer, and this the skeleton. And then load in our Atlas texture, quick load, skeleton. I don't know what we called this because skeleton doesn't have any clothes. Main skeleton? Main worker. There it is. All right, and just pick any of these. It doesn't matter. So 16, 0, 16, 20. Yeah, and then put this over here and then scale it up. 4x. Okay, so you would go get the antidote. These characters wouldn't be here. And then what else? Person drinks it. They say cool, back to adventuring. So all the antidote would do is cure them. All it would do is remove their poison. It wouldn't heal them to full. Although we could make it heal them to full. I think that would make more sense, because if they say back to adventuring and they've got like 1 HP left, that wouldn't make any sense. So yeah, the person drinks it. Their maybe like cure shows above their head, and their poison effect stops, and their life goes to 100%. Yeah, antidotes don't typically do that in games, but for the sake of this one, it will. So they say cool, back to adventuring, start to walk away. Game goes into slow motion to indicate your character is thinking. Text shows on the screen, moving upward and fading away. Rags to riches, dedicating my life to the shop. I just wanted to be an adventurer myself. Can't you see I'm a skeleton? I just love this one. Would it make more sense if that person first said the line, then started taking damage? No, because just like in the original cutscene, you are nearly dead when you finally encounter the potion shop. Like in this one, I know the life bar shows us full, but you've got like a sliver of life left. So I wanted to replicate what happened in that. So they enter your town, they're already done adventuring, they're like nearly dead, and you give them the antidote, saving their life. And I think it adds a sense of urgency almost for them to be almost dead. And like also why they should be super thankful when they live, but they're just like, yeah, whatever. I like the idea that that the antidote doesn't heal them and they go back anyway. Yeah, it could work too. I guess we could see how it feels. Still torn on the 100% thing. All right, so the slow motion bit. So maybe it zooms in for this. That's it, you ask? Oh, sorry. Yeah, they say. They toss a coin your way. It says plus 50G. When it hits you, they say keep the change. As they walk away, zoom in on your face as it gets angry, fade to black. Also, it's at this point. Fade to black, like fade back to the game. Probably give you access to bone mode at this point. Or show the tip about beating the game. Not sure if you can skip the cutscene. All right, well, anyway, so I think the mock-up did let me know a little bit more about the location. So I think this is probably pretty good. And yeah, we need to just make the whole thing now. Hey, who cares? I saw a shop on the way here with lower health potion prices. That would be pretty funny. But I think the ending's already kind of pretty good with its script, but I do think that'd be good. If you're like, well, I might be nearly dead, but I'm not an idiot. I'm not going to spend my money here. Okay, so we have intro stuff all here in game intro. Let's go make a new folder. Also, I want to delete all those extra graphics that I added in. I should have put those in a temp folder or something. I wonder if I should just delete it now. Like, I think this is fine in terms of a mock-up. I don't want to save this scene or anything. I don't think it matters. So I'll just take a picture of all of this. Yeah. Yeah, a lot of this is going to be smoke and mirrors. So let's export this as mock-up. Yeah, I don't think we need to do too much other mocking up for this. So let's delete everything I just did. Yeah, just revert it all. And then go get... Oh, you know what? We load like every single graphic on the loading screen, don't we? At some point, we should probably have it only load certain scenes. I'm going to write this down. I think we load every single asset in the game on the first loading screen. we should probably have a way to request bundles of graphics to be loaded. That way the ending cutscene isn't just always in memory. I don't think it's a big deal. This is just an optimization for later. And I don't even know if it's one we should make. So where are scenes? Scenes. So we have the intro here somewhere, right? Intro. Why don't I see it? Where is this located? Hello, why does hovering over this not do anything? Game intro, not intro. Okay, my bad. It's right there. Yeah. Hey, hello. All right. So now we're gonna do game outro, I guess, or like end cutscene. Yeah, well, let's just call it outro. And in here we just had these. Yeah, but there was an intro scene controlling everything. What did that do? What did this do? Had a camera, a sound system, all the different scenes, and then a skip button. Yeah, I think we should make a new thing. We'll need the sound system for this too. We got to get like walking sounds and stuff. I got to write that down. Make sure we add in walking sounds. Make sure we add the poison particle effect and later remove it correctly. All right, so I'll save this in game outro as outro. I think we can just get this done in one scene. Like here we had a scene and we have another thing. I don't think we need that. We also got to make sure we pause the game. Pause and unpause the game. Should you be able to skip this? I don't think so. Although it doesn't. Huh. Yeah, I don't really care, I guess, if you can skip it or not. All right, so we'll call this outro. This has an intro script. Yeah. All right, let's go. Let's just go duplicate that intro. Save this as outro. Outro. Oh, whoops. I just named that what I think I named it. Yeah, I did. That was supposed to be game outro. Okay, this is called this. Just notice the layer tip functions in QMK. Layer 1 to 15 on hold. Any key when tapped. Change things quite. Oh, layer tap. I don't know what I just said. Yeah. I think that's pretty much what I'm using here. Like I press space on this key, and then if I hold it down, I now have like arrow keys or something. I specifically, just so you know this, I specifically customized this for myself so that it would take extra long when I hold it down. So this stuff, like normally there's something called the tapping term for this. I added another 125 milliseconds so I don't accidentally ever enter this layer. Like I usually just press space. And then same thing, I'm pressing O. I added 50 milliseconds to this. So like normally I can type O over here, but then I can also move the mouse if I want. And so that I don't accidentally do it, I gave myself an extra little grace period. Got a remote job offer in my state, but the email looks a tad bit fishy. I let my family know and they think it's a scam. I'll be calling the place in an HR. Oh, in an hour on my break. Yeah, if there's any sort of urgency you feel from this company, I think that's another sign it could be a scam. I hope it's a legitimate job post. But yeah, I remember when I was looking for my job last time back in like 2020, I got an email from someone saying like, hey, your resume is like one of the best I've ever seen. Do you want to schedule a call? I'm like, okay, sure. And they're like, how about half an hour from now? And there were so many red flags. I had the call because like, why not have a call? The call's not the scam. It's what they get you to do that's a scam. So I had the call and I was like, nah, this is not legitimate. If they ever mention things like you have to buy your own laptop or I don't know, those sorts of things. 250 milliseconds. Yeah, 250 is not too bad. I thought it was lower than that. Okay, so outro is going to have a camera. I don't want this effect, but I do probably want the letterboxing. Let's just delete this for now. Then sound system, we should just call this sound system. It's technically called an intro sound system. It should probably be renamed to a cutscene sound system. I'll write a cleanup section. cleanup. Rename intro sound system to cutscene sound system. Is there anything interesting that's going on here? Oh yeah, music. I think just the regular music could play. Yeah. Play sound, play music, pitch shift music. We don't need to do this. Yeah, so we'll have an intro sound system there too. I think it's fine. Then all these different scenes, I'm only going to have the one scene. So we don't even necessarily need any of this stuff. We can just delete it all. And then a skip button, I don't know if we want that. I'll delete it for now. And I'll just write and clean up, like, maybe add a skip button again. I could see this going either way. Yeah. We have one for the intro, but the intro is like, hey, if you want to just get into the game, fine. But for this, it's like, well, that's probably only a 30-second cutscene. You've already played the game for hours. Should you really be able to skip it? I don't know. They wanted a call in 30 minutes after contact. LinkedIn message, not an email. That's how I got my current job. Yeah, it's not necessarily a scam. I think it's a red flag. But yeah. Red flags don't. I think there just need to be enough red flags for you to finally be like, okay, maybe something's off about this. If people want to skip it, they can Alt F4. What if you really just want to get out of the game? Yeah, all right. I'll write it down. You see this going either way. Leaning toward adding it. Yeah, fine. They said they want my address so they can send me a check to buy the laptop and whatnot to get started. They also mentioned wire transfer as part of the payment. I really hope it's legit, but now I'm hesitant. A check to buy a laptop. Yeah, it does strike me as strange. Most companies are going to expense the laptop themselves. And by the way, if that's like the biggest sticking point, I would probably just say to them like, oh, hey, yeah, just send me the laptop. Like you buy it and send it to my address. Hey, Cuddlefish. What I like with cutscenes is pause buttons. Yeah, we only have 2 in the game, so I don't think I'm going to add a pause button for them. But I guess it would be easy enough to do because we could just pause in the game itself. Yeah, the check will bounce. Yeah, anyone sending a check to get you to buy a laptop just does sound far-fetched to me. All right, so there's fade in and fade out duration. This stuff, there's a lot I'm going to have to change here. Yeah, it's kind of a question of like how hastily do I want to code this? Maybe having another scene here is a good idea. That way it can all stay self-contained. Okay, yeah, I've changed my mind. We'll put scenes. Or maybe I'll just instantiate a new thing here. What do we have for intro shop? Yeah, it's just a whole bunch of stuff going on. You can skip after the first time, so subsequent playthroughs. I'll probably just add in the skip no matter what. I think that's probably best. Yeah. All right, so we'll save another scene here. This will be outro antidote, I guess we'll call it. Save this into outro antidote. Then instantiate that in over here. Let's just keep things separate. And then just like we had intro shop, I'll make this outro antidote. Okay. Intro scene base. What is that? Camera focus, intro, reposition. Oh, man. And start scene. Yeah. Yeah. I'm torn on this. We only have the one scene. So maybe we put this stuff in there. I don't know. I don't know what I want to do. Let's just delete everything that's in here. So this would be a node 2D. Assuming that's what this even was. Yeah, node 2D. We don't need a camera focus. We technically don't need this because it is the outro. Reposition might be necessary. Just delete all this stuff until we know for sure we need it. Delete if unused. Delete if unused. So intro, we actually do need this here. Fade in delay. So we're going to fade in everything and then start the animation player immediately? Huh, okay. So this would be outro antidote. Antidote scene. Delete the rest of this stuff. Skip button, that stuff I don't care about. Has clicked skip once, we're going to need eventually. Heartbeat timer, delete that. Go to town scene, we won't worry about that yet either. This I don't want. Let's delete all the rest of that. All right, so antidote scene. Outro antidote. All right, and delete everything else. Okay. What happens if I run this scene? I wonder if this works. I don't see why it wouldn't. It looks weird. Yeah, it works. It just looks really weird. So I could kind of test it this way too. We even have the skip button at the bottom. But I don't know what happens when you click that. Probably doesn't work. Yeah, it doesn't do anything. Doesn't even print an error. I guess because the signal is just not connected to anything. No, I got an achievement just watching this scene. It's pretty funny. Yeah. All right. Yeah. So then we can test this way. That's pretty funny. So I got to set up music for this. Set up music. All right. Well, we have our foundation. Outro antidote. So in here, what we're going to need is a script, which I think I already made, right? Yeah, I did. And then we need a town. And the town should roughly match the town we already created. I wonder if we could just add in environment and be fine. It won't have your shop and it won't have the guild. But yeah, I think we should do this. Okay, yeah. Environment. It has a script as well. What does the script do? It should take in a town and then initialize harvestable, so we won't have that. Clear ground. Yeah, this stuff hopefully won't matter. All right, well, now we have the town. Oh, it's going to have all those nav tiles, though, actually in the scene, won't it? So if I click this, I think we'll see the nav tiles. Yeah, we will. There's a way to hide those. Nav. Navigation layer. Is that what it is? Turn off collision. Make nav tiles invisible. And where's that come from? The environment? Why are we doing things this way? Huh. I think this should have been done in environment itself. All right, well, whatever. I'm going to get this to work one way or another. So let's try this. So what do we call that? Environment. Yep, let's get that. So we would get the environment. Then we'd get the nav layer. And then we'd set nav tiles invisible. Why is that not a thing? Navigation layer. Oh, because what? It doesn't know what these things are? Is this the wrong kind of environment? No, that's the correct one. Wait, ambiguous. Game source towns environment and Godot environment. Yeah, it's game source towns environment. And it's going to probably make game and source. Yep. It's fine. And then set nav tiles. What's the problem now? Does it not know what this is? Oh, it's called make, not set. Make nav tiles invisible. Okay, so now when you run that scene, we will not see this. Sorry, my phone pinged again. I got to make sure. Yep. Wait, and what is that? Yeah, got it. All right, so they're still visible, which means I messed something up. What could have gone wrong here? I don't know what could have gone wrong here. Let's put a breakpoint there. Oh, wait. Oh, I won't be able to use a breakpoint unless I go directly into the intro or the outro cutscene. Nothing happened over here too, right? Yeah, I didn't print anything. That's strange. Okay, let's try to get the game to just go directly to the outro cutscene. Target scene. All right, so how about string target scene equals outro TSCN? I'll just copy it from here. Copy path. All right. So now I think as long as we load from here, it's going to immediately go into the outro, which should then put a breakpoint on this, which should let me know why this is failing. Maybe it can't find one of these nodes. Everything broke. Does not exist in the state machine. Oh, how fun. Okay, well, let's just add in a new state then. New. Wait a second. let's just go directly to the intro scene and just change intro to the outro. It's genius. Game intro. Name of that. Yeah, that's what I want. Main scene intro state. Then this will transition into the outro. For that, we do need iScene script here. There's going to be quite a lot to figure out. I think this will all be fine. I think if we had like 20 cutscenes in the game, we'd have to make this a lot better. But we don't have 20 cutscenes in the game. There we go. All right, so now we can go initialize one of these. So this will just change to outro. And then there is no go to town scene. I think I got it. This is very hacky. Still haven't gotten it yet, but we're probably closer. Unable to cast an intro to an outro. What have I messed up? Yeah, where is it trying to do that? Instantiate, scene transition, main scene game intro state. Where does the word intro even show up here? Just in variable names, not in types. Huh. Did I type the wrong thing? This is game outro or outro. That should be this, right? Yeah, it is. I'm missing something here. Only I can't tell what. Yeah, strange. I don't see what I did wrong. Set current state. Game intro state, line 11. Transition to scene. We call into this stuff. We're getting the wrong kind of thing. I guess let's just search for intro somewhere. Game intro, outro. Did I type that? Because if so, I definitely didn't see that. No, I don't see what's wrong. Instantiate here and it's the wrong thing. I could only think that I would have used the wrong type here. Like we're loading in an intro. I just don't know where that's happening. And I could only think that it would happen from here if I had specified the wrong path. Oh, because I said it's a scene. Oh, okay, hang on. Then yeah, I probably did mess this up. Yes, right there. Okay. Whoops. Got to put this over there. Okay. I assumed it was in code that I had the problem. It was in the editor. All right, so now we broke in here. Now we can go take a look at what this line is doing. So we don't care about that one. We don't care about that one. And we do care about the final one, but it already failed. Node not found, environment relative to outro. Because it's inside the scene in there. I see. We're getting there. Yeah, so this should have never been here. Should be in the antidote scene. Okay. Well, a couple of stupid mistakes. That's okay. Bound to have some of those. Now we import these, and now we're good. Now I think we should not see those nav tiles. Yes, good. Okay, so now we need to position the camera somewhere. So we have a camera over here. And when we make the new scene, we want to position it probably like I did in the mock-up. Yeah, so in the mock-up, you're going to have a character come from the west. And we need to make sure that the action, like everything that you see, is kind of in the center of the screen. And I don't want there to be much panning. So maybe this character is actually more like over here when they approach. And then you see them and you bring them the antidote. Yeah, that could work. All right, so then where we want to position the camera is probably centered like where this character is right now. So where's that? That was like here-ish. So it's like -500, 250. All right, let's try that. So I think we'd have to get the outro, which I don't get here. Intro shop. I think outro itself, since this used to be a base scene, it used to have some like way of repositioning the camera. Yeah, we'd pass in the intro. Okay, so I'll change this then. We'll take in the outro, and we'll do outro.camera. We don't have a camera. All right, let's close everything else that we have. So I can go get this to work. Yeah, we don't have a camera in here. It is that one right there. So let's go get that. Private camera 2D camera equals null. Camera. Get node camera. And then in the intro, I think this was public. Yeah, it is public. And then we just set the camera. Position equals new -500, 250. There's a lot of fine tuning we're going to have to do, but this should put it in the general area that I just said, where it's centered on that path, I hope. It did not do that. Maybe because we're never calling init. So where do we do that in intro? We init from ready. Okay. Antidote scene.init this. Okay. I think it's pretty good. This dot doesn't look like I centered it where I should have, right? -500 and 250 would be right there. So the center of the screen would be like under this little hook. Is that what we ended up with? I mean, maybe it is. I just can't tell. So here's an easy way to check. We make a rectangle to where I think it should be. And if we can move this so that it is still aligned to each corner. Yeah, okay. Yeah, it seems like it's the center. All right, cool. Then I didn't mess that up. Now, granted, I couldn't have gotten the coordinates wrong. You can see right where -500 and 250 is. What I was concerned about is that there was some scaling going on or something else. In fact, actually, speaking of scaling, we might want to zoom in a little bit on this. This is like the normal zoom level. And you can see quite a lot, although if you have a smaller window, it should still be centered on that area. We need to make sure that you could see at least the potion shop and the character walking in. Okay, well, now we need a guild and we need your potion shop. And thankfully, that's the only stuff that can show up over here. In fact, we got to make sure that you can't ever see where the farm would be because you wouldn't have a farm in this cutscene. I think it would show down here underneath where my camera is showing. So yeah, maybe we want to zoom in a little bit. What zoom level are we at now? Well, we're going to have the letterbox effect. That would cover some of it. But I think just setting the zoom to new 2.2. How's that look? We might already be on 2. Yeah, I think we're already on 2. What does my picture show? Yeah, it shows that pond at the bottom. So we must have been on 2. So 3.3. Depending on how big you make the window, though, there's no way to stop you from seeing the rest of the town and how it's blank. But yeah, this looks pretty good. I like this. So yeah, if I shrink the content scale factor here, so we go to the save data and load up local settings and go to the scale factor and set this to 1, then that zoom is going to get offset now. So then now we'll see twice as much as we could. Yeah. And now you can definitely see where the farm would have been. In fact, now you can see the edges of this. Oh, man. Ideally, we would be able to detect this and just zoom in more. I'll save this for later. I don't want to do this right now. But I'll write this in cleanup. Detect when the player would be able to see outside of where we want them to in the outro and zoom the camera more. We can probably detect the viewport size and content scale factor and use that to figure out if they're seeing too much. The only reason for this is that we won't have a proper town in the game. Alternatively, what we could do is we could take your town, like that there are customers and items and everything, and we could just script in on top of that a character walking over who's almost dead. So like you'd see your adventurers moving around and you'd see stuff getting sold. I think that's too much. It also means that achievements could happen during the outro. And you hear battle sounds and stuff. I think it'd be too much. Yeah, I think it'd be too much. Yeah, so I think we just need to handle the zooming. So your farm/pond spots would be empty. There'd be no chef slime, etc. All right, well, we're making good progress. Now we need the guild. So we just instantiate in a guild. Bloop. Done. This is probably not exactly where it should be. We should probably figure out the specific location. Alternatively, let's just launch the game. You're being thrown out somehow? Outro? Game intro state. Why are we going into this directly? What other wacky change did I make? Title screen and stuff. Yeah, okay. I want to go into the main game. So let's do that. This should be main scene town state. So if I just press F5 now, we should be able to see the town. This will just tell us what the guild position should be, which I don't even really need to wonder about because, oh, there's the intro. Oh man, come on. Do we have a skip intro state? Without intro, yeah, that's what I want. I think when the guild gets created, I can just print out what the coordinates are and then use those same coordinates. Load. Yeah, so there's the guild. So let's just go to town, create guild, and put a breakpoint there. And we don't even need to do anything special. We just click load and it gets hit. We set the position to, whoops, this moved off the screen. Okay, this is really annoying. This moves back on the screen, and here we go. Here's the position. So it is negative 688, 119. Because we do this funky logic. Not sure I like this, because there's no way for me to figure this out. Well, maybe we don't need to do anything special for that. Hey, so very sour. Is there a command for an explanation for why C# instead of Godot? Yeah, there is, but it's not like super explanatory, I feel. So feel free to ask any other questions you might have. Any Keddies? Doesn't your keyboard have numbers? How do you type numbers? Combination of keys? Yeah, combination of keys. So same way you type an exclamation mark or a $sign. You press Shift 1, Shift 4. I mean, if you're on an American QWERTY keyboard. So like I have a number key. And when I press this, what is normally letters will turn into numbers. And same thing, I have a symbol key. So what are normally letters would turn into symbols. So yeah, there's ends up being very little hand movement for all this. So yeah, we could just copy paste this. I don't like this. Guild.position is this. So we could put this into the outro. Negative 688, 119. Negative 688, 119. The reason this is bad is because let's say we go and change the town environment. Oh, this is why this is bad, actually. Oh, no. Oh, no. We don't clear the terrain underneath. Oh, no. Okay, well, we could kind of cheat this too. How many corners do we want to cut here? Roughly a combination of it being bad when you started and GDScript and VS Code issues. Yeah, pretty much. I just don't think GDScript was very mature yet, and it's gotten better. All right, so when we normally create the guild, we do it on a town. And we base it on where a sign is. We're not going to have the sign. And then we do something here. Where is it? Huh. There should be a clear ground thing. Where's that happening? Maybe it happens from the guild scene itself? Does this clear the ground? Strange. That's definitely strange. What is responsible for wiping out the ground? Okay, well, let's look at it for anything else, like the enchanter. Yeah, clear ground for building. Why is that not called for the guild? Treasure room, farm, fishing pond, town hall, tavern, enchanter den. The vault. And that's it? There's also clear tile map layers. I guess that could be done. Create path. Oh boy. I don't know where this is done. But it's got to be an environment dot thing. So let's just search for that. Town hall. I already looked at all these though, didn't I? I did look at all these. Oh wait, no, I didn't look at all the environment dots. Okay, we just do that then. Create path between points, get node and knit. I don't know what does this. Yeah, I don't know what's supposed to do this correctly. And it's not a problem in the game normally, right? It's running, but I can't click it. Oh, because we're broken in on the positioning. Oh, you know what we might do? We might just put this in a particular location in the scene tree such that this isn't a problem. Because, yeah, that tree is not getting deleted. It's just showing up on top of this thing. Interesting. All right, so how do we do that? We put the environment first, then buildings. That doesn't make any sense. Unless buildings has a certain Z index. It's set to 0. What's the environment set to? Also 0. But Y sorting is enabled. It's Y sorting that's probably doing it. Oh no. Oh no. Actually, Y sorting must be enabled on the town, right? Yeah. So I would need to put this over here because this is our fake town. And now maybe it'll look good. Oh, this is going to load in the wrong scene. Ugh, I got to keep changing that. Where did I do that? No, not that. Here. Please work, please work, please work. No. I think I need to Y sort this one. Yeah, that fixed it. Okay, so we can delete it on this. This presumably isn't needed. It's just the environment. No, that is needed. Wow. Shows how much I know. Okay. Are you wondering, like, are there automated tests? And if not, why not? The general stance I've had is that we've gutted so much of the code base over the course of development that had we made any tests for those, it would have just been wasted effort. Then there's the stuff that has been stable that we really should have tests for, and we just don't. All right, so good. So now we have the guild in the right spot. Now we need the shop in the right spot. And we need the shop to be fully leveled up. For this, I think we should totally cheat. In fact, I wonder, should we have even made the guild? The guild master's not going to blink, are they? Uh-oh, I didn't think about that. Did they blink here? Are you ever going to blink? Ah, they do. Okay, good. All right, so now we need the shop. The way I did this in the intro scene is I think I literally put every one of these graphics down directly. Yeah, I did. I think we should do that same thing here. Yeah, I think we should do that same thing here. Okay, so add the shop the way we did in intro shop. So that will give us the right environment. We'll have the guild. Oh, they're technically hoverable. And you could, well, clicking them doesn't do anything. Oh, I should probably turn that off too, huh? At which point, what's the reason for even doing this? Why don't I just like put the guild directly there and not make it a guild scene? I'll think about that later. Don't let you highlight the guild master on hovering. Clicking them doesn't do anything, at least. We should probably not use the guild scene, but rather... Well, no, we could use a guild scene. Maybe we just expand or like edit the children of the guild scene and I'll save this for later. All right, so we got to add the shop. I'm going to take a break pretty soon, by the way. So we're going to add the shop over here. We need to put an antidote or a couple antidotes, maybe a couple different things. And your character just goes and grabs the antidote. The antidote should be all the way on the left so that you can see it. And then the character walks in, bring the antidote, a whole bunch of animations play out. Yeah. Yeah, this is going to take the rest of the day. Okay, well, let's go take a break. Is it jump time? It's jump time. Again. Oh, Hello had to run. I probably did not get to catch him. Well, that's too bad. Hey, TJ. Close the game. Okay, so add the shop the way we did an intro shop. Let's go do that. And let's try to make it match what you have in the game. Do I have that open still? No, I don't. I don't remember what color it is. I think it looks like this. Yeah, I don't remember. Let's make it so I can just comment this out. Just a single line rather than both lines. Yeah. Hey, random Lithuanian. Easy number 2. That's true. I don't want to do this. What's going on? I want... Oh, that's weird. Without intro. What am I missing? Oh, I'll just go to the title screen, I guess. Yeah, there. I just want to see what the potion shop looks like. We got to match everything. Oh, you know what? The potion vendor probably won't blink. I didn't think about that. Does this character blink? Where are they? Potion vendor. Maybe. But I doubt it. Yeah, I don't think they do. I never noticed that. Huh, yeah. Well, I guess it doesn't really matter. I mean, who's paying attention to that? But yeah, ideally we wouldn't have done that. All right, so I want to go look at your potion shop. Story mode, continue. So yeah, let's take a picture of this. Now I'm paying attention to it. Yeah. All right, so we gotta replicate this exactly. I think we just copy paste the shop into outro. And then just drag this over here. It's got to match exactly, though. There's a bunch of other stuff that isn't needed, which we can just delete. So like item displays, we want some of these. We don't want this stuff. So delete that, that, and that, and that, and those, and this, I guess. Okay, the rest of that looks fine. The potion vendor is incorrect. It should be... let's make a new sprite frames. And let's add in characters, village. All right, this one's gonna blink. Click. All right, now how do we set this up? I think I did this before. I don't know where. NPC has an animated sprite. Yeah, we should just be able to take in an NPC, right? Oh, and they don't have a shadow? Hey, Smack. Well, I guess it doesn't matter either way. So how do we do this? We set this to 49. We should make them blink exactly in sync. 49.7. That way, if anyone's paying attention to the exact number of frames, they're going to see that I have an attention to detail. I don't really care if it's off or not. All right, so there we go. So now we need to position this to the right spot. I'll write that down and clean up. Make sure... Oh, no, we should do that now, not in cleanup, because the character's going to need to take a potion from there. So how do we do that? We go to town, create shop. Shop data.position in town. Oh, perfect. Position in town. Potion shop is at negative 320, 200. That only kind of helps us. Yeah, we were actually pretty close. So that should look like exactly what we have here. Yeah. And then these are positioned somewhere. So how about we just align them with the blue flower? Can I draw a line like this? Yeah, that's good enough. All right, so item display. Oh no, where's the blue flower? There it is. This is the dumbest way to do things. Just so we're all on the same page here. So we're going to try to match the number of little cobblestones that we see here. So it's touching this lighter one here. It's overlapped and it's underneath a little bit. I think it looks like that. Are those the same picture now? Yes. Yeah, I think so. Perfect. It is perfect. All right, so now we need to get the next one. Once we know the spacing, it should be fine. In fact, actually, I should have this spacing in shop somewhere, probably. Item display start X, -40. Oh, that would have helped. Number of pixels between displays, 32. What's the nav thing? The nav thing is so that you can see where characters can't walk. And that way we made it visible. And then they just get turned off visually at runtime. And sometimes you want this to match the terrain. Sometimes you don't want it to match the terrain. So yeah, we just manually drew it in. All right, so 32 pixels to the side of that one. So we should be able to put this like roughly there and then just figure out what this is. -40, 80. Okay, so -880. Perfect. And then -8 plus 32, 80. 24 plus 32, 80. And this one's 88, 80. Okay, then we do the exact same thing with another row of displays. So I duplicate this, becomes item display 6. We put it down to the bottom there. And this is going to be this plus 32. Yeah. So we want to duplicate all of those. And I want to paste it all the way at the bottom of shop. And then I want to add to all of their transforms plus 32. Great. Hey, Goose. Okay, sorry, let me keep checking. Sorry, I have to keep checking my phone today. All right. Actually, we just paused the town. What's this in the debugger here? Guildmaster on click. Okay, it's causing an error. It's too bad. Well, now we have the shop. So that's good. The same goes for items, mushrooms, etc. Okay, so we have the shop. Now this one should have an antidote on it. So instead of this item, let us take in... If I change this, what happens? Yeah, it changes them both. Okay, we'll just make this unique. And then probably the same with this. And now I should be able to change it. What was it? Like 17 times 16? That's correct. But now it's like slightly off to the side. Did I recenter those? I might have. Transform position is 0. Well, it looks better like that. But something's just off about that. Let me close this. Discard. Open assets, items, items. Is it not at a boundary? It isn't. Oh, interesting. Just an incorrect sprite size, yeah. All right, well, I think just for the sake of this, we can move it slightly to the side. So here's your antidote. Let's put some other kind of whatever potions you would have found, I guess. Like this. Is that the small blue potion? It looks different. It's a different color, right? No, it's not a different color. I don't know why it looks different to me. But those ones you never really end up selling. But yeah, I'm kind of overthinking this. Let's put... let's put the green potions there instead of the pink one. Which I think is just there. No. And it's like 6 there. All right, green. Where's the green one? It is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 to the right. So we click this and this and do +8 times 16. Perfect. And then just change the transform on that. All right, nice. And probably do that for like one of these other ones. I'll just copy this Atlas texture and we'll put it on this blue one here. I don't want them to all look exactly the same. Paste. There. And then maybe delete this one. Yeah. Okay, that looks like a regular shop now. Ooh. There's a lot to do for this. Like I said, I'm glad we're not doing this in, another 10 different times. I probably would want to extract out some common functions and refactor things, but we're just going to spend the time doing this with all of our tech debt that we're adding. Well, it's tech debt if we end up touching it again. Otherwise, it's fine. This is what you needed to do. So now we go look at our mockup, and in the mockup, we had this character over on the left side. So they're going to approach. I guess once we zoom in, they'll already be walking toward the town. And I think it makes the most sense for them to just walk in a single direction. So not to have to walk right, then down, then right, then down, then right. Like maybe they just start here. What do you think about that? Let's look at the storyboard again. Person walks into town taking poison damage with a wavy "I don't feel so good" over their head. Are you just standing there? Are you like here and this person approaches you and you walk over to the antidote and get it for them? Yeah, I think I like that. Okay, how did we make characters walk? Main character. Is this a like special, intro main character? And they had an animated sprite with like everything that we needed. So I think we'll make a new character, an animated sprite 2D. Probably one that looks like this. In fact, how about we just save this as game outro? So outro jerk. What do we call them? Yeah, I think that's fine. Or maybe like poisoned character. Outro adventurer. Yeah, adventurer. I think it's probably better. All right, so outro adventurer. What was the script that we had for this? It just controlled animations. I think this can use exactly the same script. In which case we should rename this when we go to cleanup. Rename this to cutscene character. Yeah, so let's keep the same script. It's got a shadow, it's got an animated sprite. Oh, wait a second though. We can't have the same animations. All right, so we got to cut these out. Facing down, facing left, facing right, facing up. All right, well, let's just delete all these then and add in the new stuff. I think we need to make the sprite frames completely anew. Can we just say make unique? Yeah, this is how we'll test it. We'll delete all of this. This is all at 7 FPS. And then we'll add in new sprites here. And it should be, I didn't even put them in the game. So we got to go do that. End cutscene. Oh, no, they're supposed to be there. Adventurers. Replace. Turns around right before healing that character to put the antidote back in the item display. Because your customer wanted that antidote. Another death. Skeleseller 2. It's like a murder mystery. We go back to Skeleseller 1 and say, but what if? And then we show that. So this is facing down. So it's this set of sprites. That does not work. Done. And copy this. and paste. Good. Okay, so here's their walking animation for walking down. And then let's go look at the intro main character. That should not have modified this. Good, it did not. So there's our outro adventurer. We put them into the outro antidote scene. They're going to be like right there, I guess. Outro adventurer. And you have your intro main character, but then they're as a skeleton. So we're going to need different animations for that too. What's the remote and local stuff? If you're running the scene already, so like I have the game open, you can inspect either the local scene, which is what you'll do every time you run the game in the future, or the remote scene, which is what we currently have in the game right now. So like, let's say we wanted to go see what is the value of whatever, a position or something. We could go change those things. Yeah, I think we need another main character. So there's outro adventure and there's like outro skeleton. So let's say this has outro skeleton. Outro skeleton. Animated sprite here is also going to need to be unique. And let's change the facing down on this one to be main worker. There. Okay, now I'll put those in the scene. We're only going to add animations as needed. So outro skeleton. Put you there. All right, so where are you? There you are. And where are you? There you are. Okay, so as mentioned, what I'm thinking is they start over here. They've got to have a life bar, which happens in intro shop as well, right? Yeah, there's a life bar. Where is that? Player life bar, poison effect. And then main character thought bubble. We also need text. So the adventurer has this stuff. So they look poisoned and they have a life bar. And then we need the text, which is like when you are in the battle. There it is, need antidote. That goes below the life bar. We don't need this open anymore. Or I said below, I think I meant above. Need antidote. So this is going to be, I don't feel so good. Where's that text? Yeah, I guess like make sure we have the right translate calls. All right. So now we get rich text label. We're going to need to save this one off, I think. Private rich text label. This is going to be need antidote label. All right. And then we set the text of that to I don't feel so good. Let's run this and just see where we're at now. Mr. Stark. Yeah. Oh, whoops, wrong thing. Target scene. Yeah, here. Delete this. What's nice is once this looks good, the only thing that can vary is the screen size. So hopefully it's not going to be too hard. All right, so this is not showing up. We have it set to fit content. It doesn't have any text, which to me probably means that we're not calling. Let's put a breakpoint there. I don't actually know what could be going wrong with this. We get the label, right? Yeah, we get the label. Then we set the text on it. And yet it's not rendering anywhere. Means game is complete for the player. Not for us. Wait, what's going on here? Well, I don't know what's going on here. I think that's when I was testing something. Yeah, I don't know where the text is. Hey, Nathan Zito. Yeah. I don't even see set via code here, so something's going wrong. Theme overrides, font outline color, outline size, visibility. Oh, the modulate set to nothing because it's supposed to fade in. There we go. Okay, so that's how that would show up. All right, so if we haven't already, make sure we fade in text as needed. I don't have an animation player in the scene yet. Also, I got to go in like about an hour. I have that appointment coming up. Actually, probably less than an hour, probably like 45 minutes. So we'll spend as much time as we can doing this, and then I'll just do the rest after lunch. Yeah, so here's the I don't feel so good. This is hovering a little bit too high, and you can see it getting clipped there too, which I wonder if that was a problem in the original label. I should probably go change that. Intro battle. Need antidote. This should never clip. Clip is set to on. I don't want that. In fact, it seems like I had to set it to on. So I wonder why I did that. Yeah, so we'll turn that off, and now it won't cut through it. Yeah, and I think it should be a little bit closer to the character. And it doesn't really look like it's centered. I don't think it is. But I think that's a matter of us just needing to put it like there. Yeah, that'll probably look better. I think they should be walking as this happens, and they need to be taking poison damage. I need to show their poison damage. So like set life bar to less than 100%. Make them take poison damage. Need an animation player for this. I think the way that characters walk in the actual game is they look like they're just facing to the right, but they actually move diagonally. So we could set that up here. That should be okay. Yeah, I think let's do that. Make adventurer walk diagonally toward the shop, toward the town, really, while facing right. Okay. So we're going to move you up to here. I want you to stay on the path, though. So maybe like... maybe here. So now they can just move diagonally down to there and then toward the right. And that means they need a... they need an animation for that. I guess we could just do this and put them in afterward. I'll just do it as we go. This is facing right. Good. And that's the animation they should start in. Can we just use the existing adventurer? You mean the one that you were? Because I don't think it would make sense for them to look exactly like how you did. And Quickie Joe made the new graphics look similar to the old adventurer. These at the bottom. What are we doing here? So we got to get the main character, or the adventurer, I mean. Outro adventurer. All right, private outro adventurer. We don't have because it's called intro main character. Outro, or like adventurer. Okay, now we go get that. Adventurer equals... got it. And we set their animation. Play animation. I forgot what it's called. There's some like animation names. Yeah, there it is. Is that how you do this? No, that's not how you do this. I don't remember how you do this. Animation helper, animation from direction. Get animation from direction. No, not that. Oh, it's just animation name, just not facing direction. Wait, though, that doesn't work, does it? Huh, where do we use this? Because something needs to have stand facing direction, play animation. Oh yeah, it's just play animation. Okay. I guess because this is converted to its string property, which is the name of the enumeration values. All right, so now it's going to be facing right, and it's going to be moved to the upper left, but it's not actually going to walk. I thought we just swapped the sprite and you'd have the animation with navigation working. I might be missing what you're asking. We don't have like a proper nav mesh in here. The launch time is probably going to be in March. I want to set the launch date by the end of this year, I think. And I'm leaning toward like March 14th or something. I kind of want to figure out when does Slay the Spire 2 come out. I don't know if it's worth trying to accommodate some other game that might be super popular. It just says March. Yeah. Because I think people tried planning around when Silksong was coming out. And someone released a game amongst the Silksong hype, and they did pretty well. Because so many games were trying to avoid it. So I wonder if I should try to just launch when I want to launch, and who cares if Slay the Spire 2 takes over everything. Unfortunately, they don't have a specific date here. I think it would probably make sense to try to get in a little bit before them, maybe. I don't know. Not even close, really? I wonder if we just look at Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight got 164,000 reviews. Slay the Spire. I know this is not totally representative of everything. Got, yeah, 70,000. Okay. Yeah, I guess Hollow Knight is more popular. But it's not by like a huge factor. It's like 2.5 times. So that's still pretty big. All right, so we have the animation playing, but we don't have it playing at a slow enough speed. And I don't know what's responsible for that. Did I just put it directly into intro main character? FPS is set to 7 for all of these. 5, 5, 1.5, 5. I think this is hilarious, by the way. I think Slay the Spire 2 is going to do fantastically well. I don't know about better than Silksong, but I think it's going to do really, really well. You know, there are so many games that they do a great job and then they make a sequel and the sequel is so different that players don't like it for whatever reason. I don't think Slay the Spire is going to make that mistake. I think they had a fantastic game to begin with. So now they're going to build on that game, add some new features, add some new characters, add some new cards, and people will probably love it. You feel it won't do as good as the first one? Really? Huh. Interesting. Also, hi, Syracuse. So what's controlling the speed of these? Because I set this up somewhere. I guess if we look at intro battle, we should see. Something should set up a speed here. Set speed scale. Okay, there it is. So we just set this on the adventure. I just want them to move a little bit slower. Pluto, I haven't heard of that. But yeah, I think my wife and I will both be buying our own copies of Slay the Spire 2. I think that's the only game on my radar that I'm looking forward to. Oh no, Haunted Chocolatier is the other one. This is Concerned Apes' next game after Stardew Valley. This game is going to do amazingly. If you could buy a stock in a video game, probably buy stock in this. What's kind of nice is he could probably reuse a lot of graphics from Stardew Valley and just kind of immediately give it, yeah, like Chocolate Bar. I think that graphics reused and just immediately give it the same like vibe of Stardew Valley, which is already a great world. Yeah, very cool. When does that come out? I don't know. I wonder, it probably has a Steam page, right? No, it doesn't even have a Steam page. FAQ. When does it come out? Can't commit to a release date. Still relatively early. Yeah. I suspect it's still going to be at least 2 years away. That's my guess. Oh, the FAQ is just not readable because I'm in dark mode. If I turn this off, it becomes readable again. I just didn't feel like turning it off. Also expected to not do nearly as well as Stardew. Really? Wow. Yeah, I mean, I don't know too much about Darkest Dungeon. Darkest Dungeon, I know what the game is. The first one got 55,000 reviews. Darkest Dungeon 2. Wait, what? This is DLC. Where's the base game? Oh, I can't look at this on screen. Hang on a sec. 10,000. But what are these reviews? Okay, let me just take a quick look. Coming from the first game, I was excited to try out the sequel. I was optimistic, cautiously aware of the fact that the core gameplay loop had changed in the sequel. Try to keep an open mind. All I can conclude after playing the game and reading more is I don't find it fun. Okay. But they do mention this. The core gameplay loop had changed. I bet with Slay the Spire, it's going to be the same core gameplay loop. I don't know what Haunted Chocolatier is going to be. Being a chocolate maker doesn't have the widespread appeal that farming sims have. Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. I guess we'll have to see too. But yeah, Stardew was a runaway success. Probably hard to capture that even if you made Stardew Valley 2. Did farming simulator games have an appeal? They did, yeah. I mean, Stardew wouldn't have been made if farming simulators hadn't existed before that. I think he said he was heavily inspired by Harvest Moon. Also, do try to watch Segmenting So Very Sour. There's some messages that are borderline segmenting, if not outright. All right, so now we want to move this character from where they are to some other place. How did I do this over here? We had a footstep timer. Where do we make characters walk? Move to. This is a camera thing. I think I know where I did this. I think I did it in the animation player. Intro battle. Position of the enemy. Yeah. This is for the battle part itself, though. There's also the walking away. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, so that's how we make them move. All right, well, time to add an animation player. And we probably need this to be, yep, we probably need this to be accessible by name. Then we need to add in a new animation. What do we call it over here? Just start scene. Yeah, start scene sounds pretty reasonable. Start scene. And then how do you add in a reset thing? Isn't there some way to do that? Add reset values. I don't think that did anything. I think I need to have the position set first. Sorry, hang on. I gotta keep checking my phone. Okay. Yeah, I'm expecting a couple of things today, and I just need to make sure that they're happening. I gotta go to that appointment in like 40 minutes. All right, so property, we're gonna set the position of the adventurer. Position. And I don't know about timing. Let's also expand this somehow. I always forget how to do this. Oh, here. Okay, so we insert a key for that and then for that. So I don't know how long it's going to take them to move, but let's go get this. And set this to here. So how's that look? Yeah, that's pretty good. Now, in terms of timing, I have no idea. I mean, you can watch them move and see if that's too fast. That's about how fast a poison person might walk. I don't know. Yeah. So then they'll approach you and stop. So we'll add in another point over here. And whatever speed they were moving at, which I want to calculate, How do we go between the different, whatever these are called, keyframes? How do you do that? Oh, this. No, that's not how. Man, there's some way to like jump between the keyframes, right? I don't know how you do that. Because if I select this, I'm not like right on the keyframe. And if I click it, does it? Oh, it always shows me the same thing. Okay, never mind. All right, I don't need to do that then. All right, so 616, negative 616, and 205. And that is at time 1.4667. All right, this is annoying, but we got to do this. And then this one is at time 5.1667. And the numbers are negative 527, 252. 252. Okay, so let's just get some like online distance calculator. Distance calculator. Yeah, here we go. All right, so negative 616, 205, negative 527, 252, calculate 100. Okay, so we're moving 100 over the course of 5.1667, 1.4667, over 3.7 seconds. So number of pixels per second is 27. So now we want to move to the side by some number of pixels. I don't even know how far. Where do we want them to stop? That's the question. Probably like there. And so we just need to figure out if they're going to move. How did I change that? 5. So they're moving 37 pixels. So 37 divided by 27 is 1.4. So we set this to 1.4 plus that. So it should be roughly 6.6. But I shouldn't do roughly. I should just add this exactly. And then just type in the number. This plus this, 6.537. 6.537. There. All right. So now they move at the same speed. That's all that was for. So they're walking, they're walking, they're walking. Then they see you. Maybe they slow down as they get to you. That on its own, though, took like 6 seconds to do. Requiem for a Tuesday right here. When you were learning how to type on Corn, were you swapping keyboards at first or fully committed? Mostly fully committed. I think there were some times where I just needed to be productive and went back to the old keyboard. But in general, I thought I'll just try to make this work. And yeah, it was maddening sometimes. Okay, so eventually the I need an antidote should fade out. And probably this should have faded in. Should you see this from the beginning? I don't know. I don't know what I want to do about that. But yeah, let's get the property of the need antidote label. And we'll set its modulate. And no matter what, there's definitely going to be a point when it's fully opaque. And then it's going to get to be transparent. And I don't know how fast that should happen. I don't know where that should happen. You're going to need to tweak a lot of this stuff. So now as they walk, that's going to say I need an antidote. And it's going to fade out somewhere around here. Which I guess shouldn't be. Maybe this is where the scene starts. So it starts with them already moving. Yeah, I think I like that. So let's just move all of this stuff to the side. We can actually move it even farther. So the scene's going to fade in. It says I need an antidote. You need enough time to read that. So let's put this over here maybe. Then your character would say, I've got just the thing, and then go get the antidote. So they walk over to here, pick up the antidote, and bring it to you. And then they drink it, which we have here. Did that open? No. Did I not double click it? I did. Okay, there we go. So then they drink the antidote. Look, they got a sad face. I didn't even notice that. They don't have a sad face in the main picture though, do they? No, they look normal there. All right, well, that's fine. So yeah, then they take the antidote and they uncork it and drink it. The only issue is they're technically taking the antidote from the right side. We could flip the whole thing. Can I do that? Flip horizontal? But then we need to flip the walking animations too. Yeah. I think we should do that though. Right? Just because of how this is positioned. Like you approach from the right side with a potion. So when they drink it, well, it doesn't really matter, I guess. I don't know if anyone has any thoughts about this. But yeah, I think this would look better. Yeah, I'm going to do that. I will write this down for the end though, so I can just get this working. Probably flip all of the adventurers' animations or sprite sheets so that the potion can be on the right side of them. Hey, Campbell Soup. All right, so now you've got to say, I've got just the thing. So we can go to intro to wake up, which is where there's a dialogue box somewhere. Where is that dialogue box? Do we make it from the cutscene? Oh, we do. Wow. So it said time for my first adventure. Yeah, this is gonna be I've got just the thing. We don't really need a dialogue box. You don't have a dialogue box for the character saying, I don't feel so good. I kind of want the dialogue box, though. Can you hover over this? No, thank goodness. Can you hover over the mushrooms? I don't even think there are mushrooms there. Yeah, I'll make a dialogue box. It's going to be a hefty scene when we're done with this. But I like how this is shaping up so far. All right, so we get the dialogue data and the text. Dialogue is going to say, I've got just the thing. Dialogue data, human main character. So this is not the human main character. This now needs to be the skeleton, which we apparently don't have. Skeleton. Oh, main worker. Main worker. Canvas layer. We don't have a canvas layer. Yeah, I guess we just add one. Okay, where does that come from? Good. And get that. And add that and hide it. Okay, so now when we show it, where's the show part? Process, set the position to always be above your character. Okay, sure. And there's a show dialogue here too. This is private though. Where's that get called from? Show dialogue and fade out tween. Start walk out of house. Oh my goodness. I forgot how much work I did in the intro. It was like a week. All right, well, we need something pretty similar here. So intro.camera. I think we just have the camera here now. No, we don't. And it's outro.camera. Okay, that's fine. Then main character. It's not going to be the main character anymore. Object is required for that. I never saved it. Okay. Private outro. Outro equals null. Save this here. And then use this. So main character is going to be your character. That's outro skeleton. So we have adventurer and we have skeleton. Skeleton equals that. Then get that there. Okay, that's probably good. And then show dialogue is here. This needs to happen. This needs to be public so that we can call it. I'll click this. We need to be able to call it from the animation player. Why aren't they moving? Oh, because I never started the animation player. Neat. Animation player. I think each individual scene does this. No, it's just at the autoplay. So I need to set this to autoplay too. How do you do that? There. Okay, so now it'll automatically play. And from here, once we get to this point, so the character says, I need an antidote. Then you're going to say, I have just the thing. So we call a function. How do you do that? Call method. And we call it on this. And the method is show dialog. All right, timing of this is going to look a little bit weird, but let's check it out. I want this to feel fluid. There's a lot of little tweaks we have to do later. So I don't feel so good. They're walking toward you. They get to you. That fades out. Your dialogue fades in. I've got just the thing. Then you'd walk over and get the potion. They'd switch to their stand animation. So this is done. When the adventurer makes it close to you, they should switch to standing. All right, so you say, I've got just the thing, and now you've got to go fetch the potion. So you're going to go just over to here, pick it up, and bring it to you. And then they'll drink it. Yeah. All right, so pretty much as soon as you say this, we're going to get the skeleton position. Going to add a key, add another key there. So they're going to walk pretty fast. If you were walking at 27 pixels per second, they're probably going to walk at like double the speed because they're not poisoned. So first, let's get them close to where they need to be, which is like right here. Like that. We do need this to be sorted, and this isn't sorted correctly. I think that means that the shop needs this, or maybe even just this one item display. Ordering. No, not like that. The item, maybe? No, it can't be the item. Maybe it's just the shop. I don't know where we need to set that. Oh, there we go. Perfect. All right, so now you show up behind the potion. That's important. And then you're going to pick up the potion. So that's you moving to it. How many pixels do you have to walk? This is why making tooling for all of this is really good. I don't have the tooling for it, so we just got to manually do it. But if I had the tooling, I could just say, go to that position, and they'll figure it out based on the speed that they are. So this is -410, 252. -410, 252. And they're walking to -367, 259. 367, 259. Distance is 44 pixels. And we said we want them to walk at twice the speed, so 54 pixels. So 44 divided by 54 is 0.81. So now we go get the starting time, 5.4 plus 0.81. Done. And now they walk to this, and they would pick it up. So now we got to move the item to be on top of them and show a little hands graphic. When the skeleton is holding the item, show the hands graphic. So they move over to here. Then they're going to pick it up. So now the item position needs to be here. This is the antidote. I should probably call it antidote. And a whole bunch of stuff is going to happen with this. Man. All right, so get the antidote. I want the position. So you're picking this up. So we put this here and here. And we want to move it to wherever you are. Actually, I just want to reparent it to you. But I think moving it is probably fine. But then we need to keep it in sync. Yeah, I think reparenting would be best. Or maybe both. Yeah. So now this should go over here. That looks so goofy. Like I said, we'll tweak the timing of this. So then we want to reparent it. I guess let's get the antidote. Right, that way I don't need to move this in any particular way. This might not be the best idea, but we'll try it out. So this is just a node 2D as far as we're concerned. Antidote equals null. Get the antidote. Then call a function, I guess, as soon as we move this there. The function we're going to call is going to be public void pick up antidote. So this is going to get reparented to the skeleton. And then at the same time, we set its position to vector 2.0. This will probably look a little bit weird. Yeah, it'll probably look a little weird. Hey, hard worker, it's going pretty well. We're setting the foundation for the outro cutscene. And yeah, it's going about as well as I could have hoped. I just realized this should be moved a little bit to the side. All right, so now in here we call another function, insert key. This is going to be pick up antidote, and let's see what that looks like. We have like 10 seconds of the cutscene. We probably need another 10 or 15. So I don't feel so good. They walk over to you. You say, I've got just the thing. You pick up the potion. It gets moved to some random spot. Maybe reparenting it makes it so that we don't need to modify the position. I'm not actually sure how that works. But eventually it's just going to fade away. I want to move the skeleton back to the side. 1 to 10 in doing creative things. I think it depends on the creative thing. No, this is still broken. What's happening? Can I zoom in on this? Yeah. All the transforms are inherited from the scene tree root until the 2D node? No. Well, so I'm reparenting this potion to the main character, and then I can change its position to 0. But it's going to be based on wherever the skeleton is. The skeletons transform. No, something must be going wrong here. I don't know what's going wrong. Huh. Yeah, I don't know what's going wrong. And it's shadows in the right spot, right? Yeah, it is. Yeah, I'm not sure why that's happening. Maybe. No, I don't have any ideas. This position should get set to bed. Oh, I guess we could just try it. Yeah, what am I doing? All right, we could just copy paste this over to here and find out what's going on. Yeah, and there's the thing. So once we set this to 0, 0, it should be in the correct spot. So actually that means that I messed that up. But that also something weird is happening. So I need these to line up perfectly. There we go. So let's set this at -7 and let's set this at -22. Yeah, that's pretty close. They'll get snapped to the right spot and an animation will kind of cover it up. So that part's fine. Then I can delete this. I know now that this does need to be set to 0, but maybe reparent isn't immediate. Keep global transform set to true. I guess just set it to false. I don't know. Let's just try it. Only 2 options there, and it was already true. So maybe this will make it not try to keep it after it's been reparented. It's still breaking. I think we need to do this on the next frame or something. So reachable. If keep global transform is true, it'll be preserved as supported. See node 2D, node 3D, and control. Oh, those support it. Maybe I set the position before reparenting it and then set this to true. Maybe that'll work. Why is this so stupid? What am I doing wrong? It's almost like the animation player is still controlling the position of this thing. But that doesn't seem right because of the timing. Yeah, I don't know what's going on there. There should be no other side effects of this. The potion should just stop moving. And then pick up antidote is called. Well, why is it moving there? It's like it's taking the incorrect. Yeah, it's just got the wrong position. All right, well, let's look this up. Godot reparent and change position. Maybe you can't do this at the same time. Just set its global position. What is this conversation? Oh man. All right. This is a mess of a conversation. Reparenting node should not give a transform position of 0. I guess we could try changing its global position, but it's its local position that I want to change. I also have to keep waiting for this. I should just speed it up. Yeah, so I'll try this. Then I'm giving up on this and moving on to something else because this is silly. What we could do is we could just delete that antidote and just make a new one. No one will ever know. Yeah, let's just delete it and make a new one. And just say I couldn't figure out how to reparent this. So we just set this to 0, 0. There. So this is, we'll call this held antidote. Or like, I guess it's the one held by the skeleton. And we'll call this display antidote. And I guess we don't need to fetch either one at this point. So just getting the antidote is kind of pointless now, huh? So there won't be a pickup antidote. And I'll just hack my way through this. So delete this. So once we get to here, what's going to happen is exactly at this point, we're going to... Actually, it would be easiest to do this through code, I guess. Oh, well. All right, so the display antidotes modulate is going to go to 0. Insert key. Oh, no, not modulate. Delete this. Display antidotes visibility, yeah. Visibility here is going to be on, and here is going to be off. And I want these to be like on top of each other, or maybe I don't know how that's going to work. And then add one for the held antidote, where this one turns on all of a sudden. I wonder if we can just do that. Yeah, let's try that. Oh, it's showing there. I think I must have messed something up. There's no tweening between these. Maybe we should just do it this way. Oh wait, I didn't even notice that. The potion's still showing. Why though? The held antidote is invisible. Oh, it's checked by default? No, that's not checked. I see what's happening. Yeah, I don't understand. Is it because I didn't click the reset thing? Oh yeah, look at that. It is because of that. The held antidote is set to true. It should just be set to false. But it's still showing. Ah, fixed. Okay. All right, now I think we're good. So what this will let us do is move the skeleton with the antidote and then give it to the other character. Good. Yeah. Looks pretty smooth. All right, so then they would move over here. Yeah, we have about 10 minutes left to be able to work on this. And then I'll have to do the rest in the afternoon. All right, so now they picked it up. Now we want to move them again. So we duplicate this over to here. Paste. And then put in a new keyframe. So they're going to walk over to... Whoops, wrong character. The skeleton, duplicate, is going to walk over to the other character. Whoop. They gotta get kind of close. I guess I can just throw it at them. I don't actually know how they should do this. So they walk over there, pick up the thing, go back over here. They should probably move a little bit faster than that. And then I think throw the potion over to you. Yeah, and then that character would drink it. So now it's the held antidote. The held antidote is going to move. Position. So I'm going to do this in kind of a little cheapo way right now. So you move over here. And then you throw it to them. There. Then their sprite needs to change to this one, where they then drink the potion and they're done. And then we could probably fade out the bottle or something. All right, so we go to the adventurer and we have a new animation and we call this drink potion. And then just add in all those frames. Drinking. Okay. Got it. So what's the size of this? Each frame is probably, whoops. Each frame is probably from the bottom here. So it'd be, it's weird, where's my selection rectangle? All right, well, like 23 by 25. I think that's right. We'll find out very soon because these will all look correct or they'll look incorrect. Yeah, I think they're off by a pixel. There, now I think they're right. Yes, except for that should be 24. Nice. Select all. Done. Neat. Okay, so now we want to play that. Except for we were going to invert the whole sprite sheet. Yeah. Let's do that. Flip horizontal and export that as flipped. Okay, I gotta go very soon. So now delete that. It should be end adventure drinking. I'll just call this end adventure drinking 2. We'll paste in flipped. We'll call that end adventure drinking regular. Delete that, and we should be good now. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Oh yeah, you can flip it in Godot. That's true. I guess I didn't need to do that. Yeah. All right, well, I'll write that down. We could just do this in Godot. Yeah, good point. Okay, so now I want to at least get this looking good. So they have the drinking animation, but that's not what I wanted to be stuck in. I want to set this back to just facing down or something. Why do they have a potion there? No. What's going on? They shouldn't have that. I wonder. Oh, there we go. All right, so they get to. They still look wrong. Well, whatever. All right, so we throw the potion at them. Whoop. And now that does need to line up with exactly when they have their, like, where they should be drinking from. So this, we got to line it up with where it should be. Hey, Ingvar, it's going pretty well. Yeah, I'm feeling good about this. All right, but getting this to match is going to be difficult. I guess we should add a child sprite 2D. I'm not going to have time to do this, will I? No, I probably won't. All right, well, whatever. Texture, Atlas. New. No, not like that. Quick load in the drinking. And then I want the very first sprite, which we said was like 26 by something. 26 by 26. I don't remember what it was. No, it's 24 by 26. There we go. So we need the potion to end up exactly there. Come back. Okay, there it is. There. Good. So this is like negative 34 and 4. Yeah, that's pretty good. And now we can delete this sprite. This was just for positioning. And then we enter the drinking animation for them. So we go to Outro Adventure, Property, Animation Playback. Maybe that? I'm not actually sure what we do here. No, not like that. Property. I don't think we can do this. Unless we can get their animation player. No, we can't. I need to expand this, I think. Set editable children. And then get its animated sprite and set it on that. Animation. That's here. So then insert key and call this drink potion. Yeah, perfect. Okay, let's take a look at that. This should be the rough outline. We have a couple more animations to get through. There's a coin flip thing. There's a getting angry thing. There's the, yeah, actually this is going to take probably several more hours. So they go grab the potion, some missing animations. They throw the potion over. That should happen much faster. Then it should have disappeared so that they can drink it. This is looking great though. I really like it. Okay, I'm gonna make a couple finishing touches here really fast. So once they throw the potion and this animation starts, then the held antidote should now be made invisible. So we insert a key at exactly the same time and set this to false. And then I want the potion throw to be faster. I don't even know where that happens anymore. There, right there. Yeah, so that means all this needs to be moved to the left. Okay, I'll try this one more time and then that's it. I gotta get going. I got an appointment soon. I mentioned that the schedule for today is gonna be a little off. So yeah, I like how this is starting to look. A lot of finishing touches we need to apply. They throw the potion. Potion moved by like a pixel. It's not good. Yeah, and then that's just gonna play forever. And at some point, the I've got just the thing should go away. All right, so let's write this down. Hide the I've got just the thing dialogue when you get the potion. Or like after throwing the potion, throw the potion in an arc if we can. What else? Picks up some of the little things. The skeleton or the adventurer should be in a standing pose after reaching their destination. Looks great. I think it's starting to look good. Yeah. Hide the poison stuff. Do this the right time. Okay. Yeah, I gotta go. So I will pick up in the afternoon at some point. I gotta go get to an appointment. I don't know how long the appointment's going to be. Like I said, I don't know about transportation time and everything. So normally I'd like to say I should return at about 1 p.m. Should be a little over 2 hours from now, but I can't promise that. So expect an afternoon stream. Don't know when, don't know the duration. But thank you all for watching so far. Hope you had fun. I'll be back in a few hours. See ya.